glad you're here. Beautiful day today. We're going to start off with our community song, so if you could please rise, and we will sing it together. Take it away, Marilyn.
Okay, here we go. Again. I feel it, I hear it, I know it, it's in me. I see it, can you see it? It's the beauty in me, it's the beauty in you. I love the love of God, it's in me, it's in you. I love the love, I love the love of God. It's in me, it's in you. It's in me, it's in me, it's in you. It's in me, it's in me, it's in you. It's in me, it's in me, it's in you.
I'm so used to having the headset, I forget. So welcome to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. And I love that we're an open at the top kind of center, and we weave in a lot of different ancient thoughts and philosophies, but they all have a common thread, so we're glad you're here. My name is Rev Mitch. I'm the spiritual director here at the center, and I will be your MC and your practitioner today, because we have a special speaking guest. Very excited. So I'll start off with who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of all creation. We aspire to live authentic spiritual lives through the practical application of the teachings of science of mind. And in this teachings of science of mind, there's a lot of beliefs. We talk about spiritual laws, we talk about spiritual practices, the power of the mind, but it all kind of boils down to these four concepts. The first one is, we believe that all thought is creative and influential. So we just pay attention to the kind of thoughts and stories that run through our mind. Because you ever notice, like, the minute you tell yourself a negative story, your whole body just kind of closes down. You can feel the energy start to shut down. So we pay attention to that. The second thing we believe, that there's only God. There is no evil or devilishness out there. In fact, all of the evil and devilishness starts and stops in the collective minds of humanity. The third thing we believe, and this one's a little tougher, but it's a really great principle if you can live it in all your relationships, and it's this. Everything in our experience is either a call for love or an expression of love. No exceptions. No exceptions. And then the fourth thing that we believe and we hold true with all our heart, all our mind, all our spirit is that each and every person is whole, perfect, and complete, just as you are right now at your essence, right? Nothing to be added, nothing to be taken away. Now, does that mean on our human journey we get some things layered over that perfection? Yeah, we do. And we want to heal those things. But at your essence, whole, perfect, and complete, just as you are right now. So I want to welcome any first-time or second-time guests, if you'd be willing to raise your hand, just so that we can acknowledge you. We welcome you. Thank you so much for coming today. So happy to have you here with us. And so now we will begin our inclusion candle lighting. I'll invite up Reverend Madeline to come up and light our inclusion candle. And so we light this candle to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation seen and unseen, to remind us of the light of spirit within all of us. Blessed be. So we are a praying community here at the center, and you'll notice in the seat backs there is a purple form that you can fill out for prayer, and we have a wooden box to the left of the door. There's also more prayer forms over there, so if you write out a prayer, it's something you'd like prayer for, they go out on Monday to the Ministry of Prayer, and we pray on them. And where two or more gather, we know that that moves the condition and helps heal in the unseen, because everything comes from the unseen into the seen. Also, if you're online today, you're welcome to submit a prayer at sierracenter.org. Click on spiritual support, and we'll have one of our practitioners reach out to you. And lastly, I'm your practitioner of the day. So if there is something heavy on your heart today, please don't leave without prayer. It would be my good pleasure to pray with you. We actually go upstairs. We have a little private space to have a confidential conversation and a powerful prayer. And I love nothing better than to do that. So please know that that's available to you today. So now I would like to invite up our Board of Trustee, Carol Unterseer, to the podium to do our announcements and tithe.
Good morning, everybody. As Reverend Mitch said, I'm one of your Board of Trustees, and I will briefly give you an overview of the announcements this morning. Number one, Mr. Carey, the Shaker Man, is back with another hand drumming class. So I had the fortune of attending the first one, and I absolutely loved it. So I hope you can attend that. February 12th and 19th from 3 to 5. Drum rental is $5. The class is $15, and drum circle of donation. So think about that. Next, we have drop-in yoga with Sarah, and I know Sarah's in the room today. So if she would come up Thursdays from noon to 1, I think she would like to just give a little short spiel. All right.
I'm really good at projecting. Come on up. Okay, online. Hello. I know. I really appreciate that we're online, actually, because I utilize that quite a bit. So I'm Sarah. I've floated in and out of this church for years. I've studied Ernest Holmes for years. My favorite book in the world is this thing called You. Oh, yes, other people are like, I know that one. Right. So I'm really happy to be here. I love what's been going on. I've kept tabs on the center, and I love Sundays. I'm usually at home doing work at home and listening live. But I know that I miss out on community by not showing up So here I am, and thank you so much. During this whole pandemic and all this after ripples, I've kind of rehomed a lot of what my abilities are with being able to teach yoga. I've been practicing since 2003. I know I look young, I'm kind of old actually. I've got 2 adult kiddos. Their ages are 20 and 24. And no, I wasn't that young when I became a mom. So do math, But so I've been teaching since about 2011. I had my own studio from 2014 to 2020. Hello. So closed with the pandemic. So I've been rehoming classes here and there and where I could. And it occurred to me that I should probably check in with y'all here. And so I checked in with Reverend Mitch back in December. And he just so lovingly embraced the opportunity for me to bring class here. And so I feel really, really grateful for that. And we do have a great practice going. I have about 4 or 5 students that are my regulars, but I would love to open up practice to anybody. And so I do have a little flyer over on this table. If you want to grab one on the way out to remind yourselves, it's a drop-in on Thursdays from 12 to 1. And I'll hang around a little bit after session today if you have any questions or anything like that you want to check in with me about.
Thank you, Sarah. All right. Okay, next we have Poetry Night, again with Reverend Lammy, Friday, February 14th, from 5 to 6, with your Valentine, possibly. Bring your favorite poem to share in person or on Zoom, and $10 suggested donation. All right, next Sunday, or join us Sunday, February 23rd, for the uplifting music of Astor Fox and her workshop, Harnessing Your Creativity for Healing and Joy. 25 suggested love offering, and no one will be turned away for lack of funds, so please join us for that. As many of you know, Sacred Dance Circle, February 24th. I think Judy is in the house. I think Judy, there she is. If you would like to join her, February 24th, 10:30 to noon here at our center. Please arrive at 10:15. RSVPs are appreciated, and there is a flyer in the foyer as well. Coming up in March, we will be offering the SOM Foundations class, facilitated by our own Reverend Mitch. If you are at all interested, please touch base with us. It's a wonderful introduction to this science of mind teaching. And once you get that bug, you cannot stop taking classes. So sign up if you're interested in learning the foundational teachings of science of mind. Class is 10 weeks long. Now we have another special guest here. Please welcome one of our tithe recipients here with us this morning, Liz Durer. I don't know if I said that correctly, from Foothills Compassionate Care. She will be come on up and give us a little information for her tithes. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. It's so wonderful to see you all here and know that you're here and hear what you're about. So thank you so much for having us. And a little share. So I'm with Foothills Compassionate Care, which this community has long known as Hospice of the Foothills. And we did add an umbrella name because we are not just hospice services, we're also palliative care services, and we are also our Gift and Thrift, which is a really lovely community resource where we have a number of different community projects that filter through that wonderful store. So we have a new name, but we are still the same agency, not-for-profit, that has served this area for over 45 years. So I did bring some information, and it will be available there for you, as well as my card if you need to contact with any questions, or if you know of someone who could use some help and needs to be connected with some really wonderful, loving people. Our mission is to help people navigate the challenging journeys of life and death. And we need to embrace it and help each other through these times so that we can create really meaningful experiences that are aligned with our own values and what we would want that experience to be for ourselves. So we have to create that. We have to give it definition, we have to give it conversation and space, and we have to share with each other what that is that we want for ourselves so that the chance of having that experience can come to fruition. So we're there to help you create and just feel supported. So I did bring just general brochures that talk about our service lines that you would be connected with our care team, which is spiritual care, nurses, social workers, aides that come and help with bathing and different things, our medical director, of course. So we have a whole team, and I'm also the dietitian, so I help here with that as well. And then the 5 wishes, I brought some of these. This is just something that if you've experienced this, you can share with each other, because this is something that will help get you started if you're curious about how you've planned for yourself, or maybe you know someone who could use a little help planning. So this is it can become a legal document once it's filled out and signed and witnessed. In California, this will be an advanced healthcare directive. So I did bring some of those, and I'm happy to come hold a workshop. If you would like me to help you guys walk through that, just let me know. We'll set that up, and I will come, and we can have further chat. Yeah, it's good. Okay, well, thank you so much. So appreciate it.
So on behalf of Sierra, we'd like to offer you that tie for thank you so much for your information. All right, we did use the five wishes for my mother. My brother and I have walked through that process, and it's extremely helpful. All right, and I think last but not least, info and sign-up sheets for all classes and events are located in the foyer. You can find our Zoom links, details, and all of our announcements in our weekly newsletter and on our website, sierracenter.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. And just a couple other quick notes. We're down to 3 of the, this is the wrong book. This one. Body Intelligence, A New Paradigm. And we had Dr. John Mayfield speak here on the book. We only have 3 left. So if you want them, they're here in the back. They're $25 and a great deal of amazing information on your body and health. The second thing I want to say is there's several classes we can do for the foundations of Science of Mind, and we're looking at doing Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, which is only 6 weeks versus 10. So if you are interested at all, it's not a firm commitment, but if you want to get more information, there's a sign-up list in the foyer. So please get your contact information on there. And it's going to be a great time. We'll have a good time, and we'll get to demonstrate some of these principles in our lives. All right, so now we have a very special part of our service where we're going to be doing some ceremony today and celebration. Doesn't that sound exciting? Yes, I'm excited. We have with us 6 new members. I think there's 5 here today. And we're going to do a installation of our new members. And what I'll start off with here is a little bit of an intro, and then we'll get into the ceremony part. So what it means to be a member, it is a commitment to spiritual growth, a commitment to building a life of joy, ease, and love. What naturally follows is a growth of our spiritual community. It is an affirmation of alignment with the philosophy and teachings of the Science of Mind. It is an open statement in one's belief that their spiritual center is of great personal value. It is having a sense of ownership in our center and expressing that ownership through sharing of our time, talent, and treasure. So we have the joyous occasion to formally welcome our new members to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. And I will now ask Marilyn Gale, our Board of Trustees President, to come forward, as well as our new members. And as I read your name, if you could please come to the stage, I would appreciate it. So we have Karen Blakely, Cynthia Robertson, Ian, Sue Ward, and Nanette Georgian. I don't know if I got that right, Nanette. You'll have to, goes by Nan. And so these are our new members who are here today. And welcome. By choosing to be a member of the center, you are making a commitment to deepen your spirituality and your focus in growth and living your best life. And if any members within the audience would like to also renew your vows, you are welcome to stand at this time as we begin the vow portion of the ceremony. Wonderful, thank you.
Each of you has responded to the call of Spirit, whose desire it is to express its greatness and magnificence through each one of you, and to grow and expand our spiritual community. You are living proof that when Spirit has a desire, its creation automatically responds. You are the living, breathing demonstration of God in action as the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. By becoming a member, you are helping to make a difference in the world. You are joining with like-minded people all over the world who share a common vision, awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. You are joining people of all faiths that fully embody a universal truth shared across all religions, ancient and new. The Sierra Center for Spiritual Living vision is creating a world that works for all. We do that by teaching and practicing the principles of the science of mind. Do you support this vision? If so, say, I do. I do.
Our desire is living life fully and consciously through inspiration, education, spiritual community, and service. We do this through spiritual practices, positive mental prayer, meditation, visualization, affirmation, and seva, which is the Sanskrit word for selfless service to God or Spirit or whatever name you call your higher power. So, do you support and uphold your heart's desire? If so, please say, I do. We believe in engaging in conscious community by assuming positive intent when someone has done something that bothers us, working to resolve our concerns and issues in a constructive manner, and we refrain from gossip and hearsay. Do you today declare your commitment to participate in helping to cultivate conscious community? If so, say, I do. We celebrate the diversity of all people, of all religions, and all walks of life, doing our best to embody these words. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Do you support this celebration of life? If so, please say, I do. I do. So, do you, oh, we already did that one. Okay, sorry. It's my first time. In recognition of the commitment you have made to your spiritual growth and to the growth of our center, it is my joy to give you our membership packet, which includes religious science teaching book, by Ernest Holmes, a name tag, and a 6-month subscription to the Science of Mind magazine. Everyone, please help me in celebrating our newest members to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you so much. You may have a seat. We so appreciate you. Fantastic. Yeah, go ahead and... Well, now we have some new Board of Trustees to install. How exciting is that? We have the joyous occasion of installing 3 new Board of Trustees here for the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. And Marilyn Gale will do the installation. I will start with some opening comments, but I will ask Carol Unterseer to come up to the stage. Jerry Lynn Fling, if she can free herself for a moment, and Reverend Karen Blakely, all 3 of us here. And I will turn it over to Marilyn Gale, our board president.
You have answered Spirit's call to a higher level of service to help, support, expand, and promote the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living Center's vision and values. You have been affirmed by a majority vote of the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living membership and have been found qualified through your commitment to and proactive action of the Science of Mind principles to serve as a Board of Trustee member. Therefore, I invite you to take the following vows of service for the position of Board of Trustees. The Sierra Center for Spiritual Living vision is creating a world that works for all. We do that by teaching and practicing the principles of the Science of Mind. Do you support this vision? If so, say I do. I do. The Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, we manage our center, which are steered by our values of love, inclusion, gratitude, authenticity, integrity, community, and service. Are you willing to uphold and embody these values to the best of your ability? If so, please say I do. We believe in engaging in conscious community by assuming positive intent when someone has done something that bothers us. Work to resolve concerns or issues in a constructive manner and refrain from participating in gossip and hearsay. Do you here today declare your commitment to participate in helping to cultivate conscious community? If so, please say I do. Thank you. Do you promise to uphold and abide by the Sierra Center's bylaws, agreement standards, and support of the senior minister? If so, please say, I do. I do. In recognition of the commitment of these Board of Trustee members, the commitment they have made to serve the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, it is my joy to welcome you as officially installed members of the Sierra Center for the Spiritual Center, Sierra Center for Spiritual Living Board. It's a mouthful, okay? Oh, yay.
Please rise and give them a hand. They have a big job in front of them. Thank you so, so, so much. All right. We're almost there. This is so much fun. Okay. I will say we still have one more position available on the board, and we would love to fill it. That will bring us up to 9. And there's a lot of work to do this year. We've got a lot going on. We just had our retreat yesterday and our goals and objectives, and we're going to share that with you at the next potluck, but could really use your support. If that is calling to your heart in any way, shape, or form, please see myself or Marilyn after today's service. All right. Okay. Okay, here we go. Last but not least, we're going to install a new minister. How exciting is that? I know. So here we go. Make sure I get this right here. So ministers, board of trustees, licensed practitioners, and congregation and friends, we are gathered here to install this newest minister of religious science, Karen Blakely, here at the center. We got official notification from the Centers for Spiritual Living that Rev Karen, or Rev K as she likes to go by, has completed all of the coursework, tests, and paneling, and background check associated with becoming a minister for the Centers for Spiritual Living. So her capacity here is threefold. She serves as a minister to the congregation and counselor to all who come to her for help and guidance. She serves as an official and accredited teacher for religious science under the authority of the charter granted by the Center's Leadership Council and Centers for Spiritual Living. Simply put, she can actually teach all the licensing classes for people to get through practitioner studies as well. And also, as a religious science minister, she is able to perform all manner of ministerial duties, including marrying people, helping with celebration of life, and the many ecclesiastical duties here at the center. So I would now like to call up, well, we'll do the I do's and then we'll call up our ecclesiastical staff first. So, Rev Karen, do you accept the Center's core principles, values, and vision and promise to adhere to them? I do. Do you devote yourself to the ministry you've been called to and do your utmost at all times to reflect the higher self within in all that you think, say, and do? I do. Do you dedicate yourself that you will be constantly aware of the Spirit within all people, and that you will see the perfect spiritual person in mind, body, and spirit? Do you promise to minister faithfully and lovingly to the people now committed in your charge, and to seek ever to be an example of moderation, patience, and loving kindness? Do you promise to engage in growing and cultivating conscious community and expanding your awareness and understanding as to meet people where they are at and do no harm? I do. And now I will invite the practitioners and ministers of the center to the other side of the carpet for our ceremony of induction. Take one of these. Fabulous. So Karen, I invite you now to cross the threshold, and as you take each step, reflect upon the journey that you've been on. It's been over 6 years of study, thousands of hours of reading, testing, service, prayer, thousands of dollars of investment in classes, books, and that deeper investment of your spirit and your heart and your conscience to grow, to heal, and to bloom in to the next version of yourself to take on this part of your journey. And so I invite you now, as you cross the threshold, remembering the journey, knowing that it is sacred, and coming now to this point, the other side, to join the ecclesiastical team here at the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. Each one will present you with a symbol and a hug of the love and welcome that they each have in their hearts for you. as you join an incredible team, and I mean incredible, of practitioners and ministers continuing to support the congregation. And I now duly install you, Karen, Rev K. Please rise and help me celebrate Rev Karen, Rev K, into our community. Blessed, blessed, blessed be. So proud of you, baby. Wonderful. Well, thank you all. I know, right? Well, she'll get to talk here in a second. Trust me. Oh, yeah, I guess we could just leave it here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Wonderful. So now we're going to go into our time of inner shift. And I think I went too far. Oh, yeah, I did. I'll start with a sacred reading. And then we will go into, we will start with a song by Marilyn Gale. Then we'll go to the inner shift. Thank you, Marilyn.
So the words to this chant, earlier I heard mention of this thing called You, the book by Ernest Holmes. And the words here are gleaned from that book. I turned into a chant. Let me show you how it goes and ask you to sing with me. Love makes the way clear before me. Joy wells up within my mind. And life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Yeah. Love makes the way clear before me. Joy wells up within my mind. And life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Let's keep it going. Love makes the way clear before me. Joy wells up within my mind. And life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. Love makes the way clear before me. Joy wells up within my mind. And life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. One more time. Love makes the way clear before me. Joy wells up within my mind. And life sings its song of ecstasy in my heart. In my heart. In my heart. Again in my heart. In my heart. Now really slowly in my heart. In my heart.
Beautiful, beautiful. So now I have a sacred reading from a book called The Magic of the Soul. And a great title. And in the book, it gives us some really wonderful advice about our process of unfoldment. Here it says, the soul does not judge anything as good or bad because every experience can and will produce growth over time. Many spiritual doctrines preach non-judgment, but subtly sneak judgment in between the lines. In many Eastern interpretations, karma is portrayed as a form of punishment, just like hell in the Western doctrine But many Judeo-Christian thinkers, even those in traditional denominations, no longer profess a fiery inferno as an afterlife for evildoers. One rapid growing alternative in theological thought is the recognition that heaven and hell are metaphors for states of consciousness or experiences created through our actions. Karma also has more empowering interpretation as a positive force inspiring growth, and that's what we believe here as well. So I liked that part of it for us. Okay, we will go to our inward time of shift, and I'm going to ring the bowl, and we're going to chant Om, which is the primordial sound of the universe. Om. And each time after, we'll do it 3 times, and then I'll take us into a silent meditation and out with a prayer. Let us begin. Being of our existence, this inner place that was never born and never dies. It is in this space we commune with the Most High wisdom, the Most High love, the Most High power that is aback of all things seen and unseen, that's shining the sun and spinning the planets and moving the seasons and beating all 8 billion human hearts and not efforting. There is no hard in spirit. There is no difficulty. All is well. And I name and claim this wellness for each and every person here in the room today, online, and hearing my voice, knowing that peace, joy, abundance, prosperity, power, grace, serenity is your divine inheritance, for it is the very thing that you are made of. And I know as this service continues to unfold, it unfolds in the heart, in the wisdom, in the givingness, in the connection of the divine to connect to each and every person present here today through the music, through the message, through the fellowship after. For there is no spot this power and presence is not. And I name and claim and speak my word, knowing that each of us is divinely directed, protected, uplifted, and celebrated. That this is the energy that pulses through every atom, every cell, every part of your being. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for this powerful time and community together. I give thanks knowing where two or more gather, these intentions have been amplified and they come back to us in our experience in perfect time and order. So I just give thanks. I trust the process. I let go, I let good, and I let God do what God does, what Spirit does, what the thing itself does, which is loves its creation and meets it right where it's at. And so I release this word into the perfect activity of love and law, and I invite you together to say, and so it is. Blessed be. And now we have another wonderful song by our own Marilyn Gale.
The world can be a crazy place. Just look around and see. When my heart is filled with grace, it all looks pretty good to me. Take a stone, drop it in a pond, ripples begin to spread. Find some good to focus upon, leave behind all dread. I release and allow increase to come to me. I believe the gifts I perceive come to me. I have a sense of my destiny. I know just how it feels. In the flow of being me, my path surely unreels. When I let go and surrender, the truth does set me free. I'm filled with awe and wonder. I'm in the energy. I release and allow increase to come to me. I believe the gifts I perceive come to me. I believe, I believe, I believe in my destiny. I achieve, I achieve, I achieve my goal of harmony. I'm in the flow, I'm in the flow, I'm in the energy. I release and allow increase to come to me. I perceive come to me. I release and allow increase to come to me. I believe the gifts I perceive come to me. Come to me. Come to me.
Let's give it up again for Marilyn. Isn't she doing an amazing job today? Please turn to somebody and say, glad you're here today. Glad you're here today. Let's welcome each other. So good to see how the room is filling up with all of these beautiful faces and beautiful energy. So grateful. Wow, you're a wild crowd today. Come on back. Come on back. Might have to hit the gong, because I will. So it brings me tremendous amount of pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, who is also my beloved, Rev Kay. And before she gets up, I just want to tell you a few things about Rev Kay. She's been in the teaching. Okay, not those things. Like, we'll keep it public. She's been in the teaching for over 10 years. I know that she's done the message at New Vision Center in Phoenix, the Amani Center, and then the center in Eureka, the Centers for Spiritual Living, where she's a huge hit. At one point, she belonged to the National Speakers Association and told an amazing talk on ice climbing. Maybe you'll refer to that at some point. And in her secular life, Karen's a nurse, a pediatric nurse, which I think is God's work on the planet, yes, and currently works for Make-A-Wish. And she also works with the Next Gen group in the Centers for Spiritual Living, which is our 20 and 30-somethings, right? Just being an advisor and supporting their quest in this teaching, which I wish I would have been learning at 20. So really amazing stuff. And now is, of course, our board member, and part of our ecclesiastical staff. Please give a big welcome and thanks to Rev Kay. Yay! See how you started?
Well, I just love that. There are not very many places that you can get applause just for showing up, so. Such a joy to be here on Sunday with you. I was thinking about how it seems like it has been such a short time since we've been here, and yet so long at the same time. And we're already into February of 2025. Can you guys believe that? And we're coming up on a holiday. And no, I'm not talking about Super Bowl. I know there's a lot of people who think Super Bowl should be a holiday, but this weekend is Valentine's Day. And, you know, Valentine's Day comes with a lot of mixed emotions. And for a very long time before I met Reverend Mitch, I was single on Valentine's Day. Everywhere I would look, I would see red hearts, and there were all couples in love and everything. And I thought to myself, you know, it can really suck to be single on Valentine's Day. And I thought this to such a degree that I started to refer to February 14th as Single Awareness Day. Anybody with me? Yeah? I've got a few hands, yeah. And while that is a super fun name, I also realized that it meant that there was something up for me. There was something bubbling in me that made me see some sort of a negative for Valentine's Day. And as a good metaphysician, I knew that it was my job to find a way to shift that feeling. And so I started to research and really look at, well, what are the origins of Valentine's Day? Like when we peel away all of the Hallmark glitter and glam, what's really at the root of that? And one of the many things that I learned is there was a man who was imprisoned, and we won't go into why, But he missed his beloved so deeply that he would write letters and express his love. And I said, okay, Valentine's Day really is at its core about love. And they're not just talking about romantic love, but that divine principle, I like to call it capital L love, that agape form of love. And then as I continued to contemplate this and read, I ran into the following quote by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. It said, "We can know love only as we embody it." That life can only do to us what it can do in us and through us. And that's how I got to the title of this talk today. That the opportunity here for us is that regardless of our relationship status, is in being the beloved, of being that space and place of compassion and love in this moment and every moment forward. Are you guys with me? Yes. Yeah. Sounds easy, right? But it's not always simple. And so I want to talk about 3 things that can sometimes get in our way as we go out into the world with this idea and intention of being the beloved. And so the first one is seeing ourselves as separate. Separate from each other, separate from the world, and separate from that divine. Whatever you call it, I call it God. We know from the works of spiritual ecology that we're really looking at this interconnectedness and interdependence of all of life. That as we step out into the world, we can see that we breathe out, and trees convert that into something we can breathe in. That we see that the sun starts to grow our plants that we can take in as nourishment, and we really, truly are just interconnected and interwoven with this beautiful planet. And often this is a great place to start to see that interconnectedness, because it can often be challenging to see that with each other. But that's true as well, that each one of us is a piece and a part of the divine. And this requires us to shift from I thinking to we thinking. Last week, Reverend Mitch invited us to look out and see the divine in everyone, to see God everywhere. I like to think about this as putting on my God goggles. I'm putting those on, and then I am viewing everything through a lens of the divine. And from this space, can we begin to see the divine and not the divide? And I want you to think for a minute, how would your life change if you looked out and saw nothing but God? What would you do? Where would you be? Maybe you'd still be here in this room with all these beautiful beloveds, but would you take that same feeling with you as we travel out? Out into our beautiful world. And I know right now that world can be a little challenging. And that brings me up to my second point. And that is that sometimes we see ourselves or others as flawed or something that needs to be fixed. Ooh, have you ever heard yourself say, well, if only they would, they don't understand. Or then we argue about it for our own selves and we say, but you don't understand. I did this, or I experienced that, or I grew up this way. And we want to stand in that place and hold on to that old story because it served us so well and protected us for so many years. But have we outgrown that? Have we come to a new place? A place where we no longer see ourselves and our world as broken. You know, earlier today in all of our, what do we call them? There you go, all of our ceremonies. Lost my train of thought there. In all of the ceremonies, we talked about the global vision of building a world that works for everyone. Part of that global vision says we perceive the world with an understanding of the wholeness of all lives and all things, not as a place to fix. I know, I know there's somebody out there going, Rev K, have you watched the news? There is stuff to fix. And that may be true in the world of effects, but what we need to remember is that everything happens twice, right? It happens on the divine world, and then we see it out picture. And so there is something active and alive right now in that divine space. There is something greater that's happening, even when we can't see it. And so can we come to know ourselves not as flawed, but as absolutely perfectly imperfect? And so I want to share with you one of my favorite stories. And I think it demonstrates this so well. Hopefully not all of you have heard it already. It is the story about the cracked pot. A water bearer in India had 2 large pots that hung on the end of a large pole. And every day he would carry it across his neck up to the master's house. One of the pots had a crack in it, and the other pot was perfect and always delivered a full portion of water at the end of the long walk from the stream to the master's house. The cracked pot, however, always arrived only half full. Day after day, this went on, with the bearer delivering only 1.5 pots of water to his master's house. Of course, the perfect pot was proud, for it had accomplished exactly what it had been made for. But the poor, cracked pot was ashamed of its own imperfections and miserable that it was unable to accomplish but half of what it had been made to do. After 2 years of what the crack pot perceived as a bitter failure, it spoke to the water bearer one day by the stream. "I'm ashamed of myself. I want to apologize to you," the pot said. "Why?" said the water bearer. "What are you ashamed of?" "I've been able for these past 2 years to deliver only half of my load because of this crack in my side. It causes all the water to leak out all the way back to your master's house. Because of my flaws, you have to do all of this work, and you don't even get the full value of your efforts." The water bearer felt compassion for the cracked pot and suggested that as they returned to the master's house that day, that the pot noticed the beautiful flowers along the path. He agreed, and indeed, as they went up the hill, the old cracked pot took notice of the sun warming the beautiful wildflowers on the side of the path. And they did cheer him up some. But at the end of the trail, it still felt bad because it had leaked out half of the water. And so again, it apologized to the water bearer for its failure. And the bearer said, "Did you happen to notice that the wildflowers only grow on your side of the path?" The pot hadn't noticed that. "That's because I have always known about your so-called flaw," the water bearer said, "and I took advantage of it. I planted flower seeds on your side of the path. And every day while we walk back from the stream, you have watered them. For 2 years, I have been able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate my master's table. Without you being just the way you are, I would not have had this beauty to grace this house." And for the first time, the cracked pot felt proud. So the moral of the story, y'all, we're all cracked pots. Each one of us is perfectly imperfect. If we will but allow the divine to use those cracks to grace our home, our tables, and our world. That it is when we begin to accept ourselves just how we are, that we then begin to outpicture and create that world that works for everyone. We have to start right here. And that brings me up to my third point for today. And that would be that sometimes what gets in our way is that old friend, negative self-talk. Anybody ever heard that one? It's that little voice in your head? Yeah, I see some hands. I like to think of it as our old friend, fear. And negative self-talk is actually something that we're hardwired for. It's called negativity bias. And it means that our brains have been wired, and maybe that's from caveman days when there were things that we needed to remember to avoid. But we've been hardwired to focus more on negative stimuli and remember negative experiences more vividly than we do positive ones. And that also leaks into relationships where we tend to remember insults and negative interactions more than positive ones. The problem with this is that we know from this teaching that what we focus on grows. So if we continue to let our brain just do its crazy train, we're going to be overwhelmingly negative. And so I like to think about that like a scale. And we've got all the negative here, and we need to find a way to shift that back so that we're equaling that out and having more positivity, and we can lean towards the positive side. And so one of the most powerful practices in that is the practice of gratitude. That we can't be negative and grateful at the same time, right? And so as I started out in this teaching, they took classes, they kept on telling me, well, you need to keep a gratitude journal, you need to keep a gratitude journal. And I thought, this is too much work. I've got to get paper, I have to get a pen, I have to find time, I got to sit down, I got to write it all out. And I was a little too lazy to do that. And so I thought, well, what is another way I could do this that would still be a practice that I'm going to do every day, because I know how important this practice is, but I wanted it to be something that felt simple for me. Now, as Reverend Mitch will affirm, I am not a morning person. I like to hit the alarm several times before I get up, much to his dismay. And I thought, well, I could utilize that time. And so I started to do what I like to call snooze gratitude. When the alarm goes off, I hit the snooze button, and then I sit there for the 9 minutes until it starts to ring again and think about all of the things that I am grateful for. 9 minutes is long enough for you to get past, I'm grateful I'm still in bed. I'm grateful that I have a warm house. And you really get into that space of being grateful for the gifts that life have given us, and even grateful for ourselves. When was the last time that you remembered to thank yourself in your gratitude practice? And how much do you think that will tip our scales to the positive? When we're knowing and remembering who we are, when we're knowing and remembering that we are one with the one. Ernest Holmes says, have you come to realize that God is inside of you? Some see God as a loving father. Some see themselves as children, as sons and daughters of God. Some see their relationship with God as lover and beloved. And some cannot see where they leave off as individuals and where the universal spirit begins. That's being the beloved. That's knowing the divinity that is right here. Even if we don't see it, even if we're not ready to believe it yet, we can have faith in somebody else's faith. If you're having a struggle believing that, come and pray with us. Let us see it for you, because to tell you what, when I look out and I see each one of you, that's what I see. I see a beautiful, beautiful spark of God in action. That each one of us is here right now on this planet for a purpose. That there is something special moving through us right now. And so for the rest of February, I invite you to practice these principles. Arise each morning with the goal of being the beloved. Be a living demonstration of love in action. And I want you to remember this. What you are looking for, you are looking with. the book Spiritual Awakening, says, "It is not so much a question of seeking, but of realizing what is already there." In other words, the search for the beloved is found in the realization that the beloved is our true self, that this is the truth of who we are. I hope you'll each join me on this journey. I love you. Thank you. And so let's say our affirmation together. I'll say it once, and then you guys can repeat it with me. I see with the eyes of love. I hear with the ears of love. For I am a divine opening through which love flows out to meet the entire world. All right, and together. I see with the eyes of love. I hear with the ears of love. For I am a divine opening through which love flows out to meet the entire world. And so it is.
Oh, blessed be. Good stuff. Yes, I think we'll have you back. Yes, let's have her back. So if you would please now take your love offering or gift in your hand. And I invite you to read along with me. I give this gift with the love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And Marilyn, take us away for a song.
Another song. Can you hear me? This song begins and ends with a chorus. I'm going to show you how it goes because I want you to sing it with me. It goes like this. Every day. Wait, sorry, got to take off the bracelet. That's not going to work. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Sing it with me now. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Now we'll come back around, I'll let you know. Meanwhile, hear this. Look around, stand your ground, make your own special sound. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. Yeah, you got goodness in you too. I know you do. Step inside, blow your mind, let yourself feel alright. Shuffle along and groove with the song. Keep yourself moving along. As the sun rises, your eyes open. Welcome the surprises on the horizon. Ready? Here it comes. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Sing it again. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me. Got a little more for you. There may be a thing or two don't seem to be going your way. Remember, it's not only you here to enjoy this day. Everything is possible. It's right here at hand. Suffering on and sing with the band. And as the moon rises, I know that it's okay. I welcome the surprises each and every day. Ready, here it comes again. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me, oh yeah. Every day in every way, I've got something to shout about. Every day in every way, I've got goodness in me, I've got goodness. I've got goodness in me. One more time, I got goodness. I've got goodness in me.
Beautiful. So I gratefully receive these tithes, these gifts, this energy that is infusing the center, the greater community, and helping to create a world that works for all. And together we say, and so it is. Blessed, blessed be. I understand there's a card going around. If that could come up here, that would be fantastic. Anybody see it? Okay. All right. Okay, well, if somebody hunts that down, I'm going to move on to our thank yous. I'm going to thank our ushers, Jessica Rose and Pat. Thank you so much. Our candlelighter, Madeline. Announcements, Carol. We got Diana and Carol on tech today. Thank you so much. And sound, we have Jose and Melissa. Thank you. Also, let's see, Children's Church, Jerry Lynn, yes. Thank you. And of course, last but certainly not least, well, not last, let's thank Karen again for being our guest speaker. And our wonderful musician, board president. And at this time, I would like to invite up a very long-term supporter of the church. Lois, would you come up, please? We would like to present you with a birthday card. I know, we hijacked you, Lois. Look at that. How long have you been a member of the center?
Since day one.
Since day one? And this is in celebration of Lois's 90th birthday. Woo. I want to give you a hug. We love you, Lois. Beyond words, we love you. There you go, Lois. Thank you for keeping the light on. It's because of people like Lois that we're here today. Thank you so, so, so much. So what are you taking away from today? Shout it out. Joy. Joy. Beloved. Huh? Community. Togetherness. Love. Oh my gosh. Self-esteem. Love. Appreciation. We had a lot of appreciation going on today. Doesn't it feel good? I know we went a little longer than usual, and I want to thank you all today for staying with us throughout the ceremonies and the long session. So let's stand and we will do our benediction. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now. It's this thing called the beloved. It is this thing called snooze of gratitude. It's this thing called putting on the eyes of the beloved. I know it. I feel it. I sense it. Because I am it. And so it is. Please stay standing. We'll go into our final song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Beautiful and blessed week, everyone. So glad you came today. Blessed be.